After purchasing the J109 Joie at the end of the 2021 season, the team at Bottom Up Boats needed to figure out the best way to get her from the beautiful Kilrush Marina in County Clare on the west coast of Ireland to her new home on the spectacular shores of Strangford Lough in the northeast corner of the island of Ireland. If we head over to our T-Tel map of Ireland, it's easy to see that the simplest approach for the team at Bottom Up Boats to get from our starting point at Kilrush to the finish in Strangford Lough would be to hire a truck and drive it across. But where would the fun in that be? The Bottom Up Boats crew instead will sail the boat south along the western coastline of Ireland, past the Blaskets and Great Skellegs, before taking a left turn at the southernmost point, the Fastnet Lighthouse, racing across the bottom to Rosslare before turning left again and up the east coast past Dublin to a final resting place, Strangford Lough. With the sun setting over a beautiful evening on the Kilrush Marina, all the boat work completed, the crew got together to discuss leg one of the journey. The plan was to leave just before sunset, getting the last of the outrushing tide taking us round the Blasket to Port Magee. The beautiful sunset led to a clear, cool night, which generated a thick fog by the time we awoke. We headed out to the orange light in the Kilrush Lough to see if it would lift, but sadly, by mid-morning, we'd missed the tide and therefore had no opportunity to get out into the loch safely. So it was back to the marina to rethink our day one journey. Tide not giving us enough depth till after lunch, the new plan was to head to Fenit, getting us out of the Shannon on day one. After a pit stop up in the Kilrush town square for a full Irish breakfast, the sun eventually came out and burnt off enough of the fog to allow us to attempt a second exit of the Kilrush Lough. The now flooding tide had filled the exit of the loch enough for us to slowly creep out into the main part of the Shannon. It was, however, going to be a long day, punching tide for the majority of our journey, with the wind straight on our nose too, which limited our ability to set sail. With the navigation team checking things out at the mast and the fog lifted enough for us to see where we were going, it was time to say goodbye to Kilrush. It wasn't long before we were followed by these friendly fellows. It still amazes me every time you run into these beautiful creatures. It just lifts the spirits. With the hats and sunglasses on, all that was left for the crew to do was get the autopilot working and enjoy some of the fantastic west coast scenery as the flat water, blue skies made for some fantastic images on the way to Fenit. Later on in the day, the breeze came off the head enough to get us headsail up, and we chased the sun to Fenit. After a little over 6 hours at an average speed of 5.5 knots, we found ourselves moored up for the night at the Fenit fishing harbour. All that was left to do was to enjoy another spectacular sunset and plan for the day ahead. For today's bonus content, we're going to do a quick review of each of the ports that we stayed at as well as reading out the formal maritime log recorded as part of the journey. Before jumping into the individual components of the review, I wanted to call out that we've scored today's marinas based on an overnight stay or short stay that you would be used if you're exploring the west coast of Ireland. Kilrush Marina is a fantastic spot. The facilities score 10 out of 10 with diesel, clean amenities, easy access to a very well laid out marina with a full boatyard service. It's got 24/7 support from the staff that will open up and do absolutely anything you need, as well as being very knowledgeable. As with most things, you get what you pay for. At €30 per night for our 10-meter boat, it was fairly expensive, but a very safe place to spend the night. The ease of access is the biggest issue with Kilrush Marina. The lock that gets you in and out of the Shannon River cannot be accessed by deep vehicles at the bottom of the tide, so you do need to plan your way in and out. And the first time you enter, you would definitely need the support of the locals. The other facilities around the marina are very good, with local shops, supermarkets, and plenty of restaurants and B&Bs if you did want a night on dry land. So overall, for Kilrush Marina, we give it a 7 out of 10 for the overnight stays. Moving on to Fenit, the facility's a little bit more basic, but still very good. It's pretty much a fishing port, but there is showers, electricity right at the end of the marina. The staff were helpful coming to visit, lighter on numbers than at the Kilrush Marina, but a person jumped in his car and got an extra mark for driving us into town along the long break wall. The cost per night at only €17. It was a little bit difficult to figure out from their website how they were going to charge us, but this is what they worked out. It's very easy to access with good deep water on the way in, and lit up in the morning, which you'll see in next video, with a lot of ships in port. The other facilities were a little bit limited with a long walk into the local pub, but once again, when we got there, great staff and people that helped us plan the rest of our journey. So we give Fenit Harbour Marina an 8 out of 10. 29th of March, departing Kilrush, destination Port Magee. 700 hours, cast off, barometer of 10,015, holding at the Kilrush Lough wall due to fog. 8:45, Kilrush Marina alongside, departure still postponed due to fog. 13:05, depart Kilrush Marina, plan now changed to Fenit Marina in Joie. Estimated time 5.5 hours at 6 knots. 14:35, steering course 233, a beam of Beale Point, dolphins seen 3 times. 16:08, course steered 240, barometer now at 1013. Inshire Bay Rock is now a beam. 18:05, small craft warning at the Met Office, 29th of the 3rd, 2022, northeast of Loopvine, Erin Headland in the afternoon. 18:40, alongside Fenit Marina. Fuel used, 10 litres, 34 nautical miles covered.